animal. One banner, one glory, we're proud of who we are. One world, one spirit, one heart, one soul, one dream, one goal, one hope, one faith, animal. One banner, one glory, we're proud of who we are. One world, one spirit, one lesson.
To the sky, repping green and white, together we will fight.
Never shall we fail, screaming hail, hail, hail. We are, we are, we are.
Bayan kong Pilipinas. Ba-da-da-dam, dam, 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 ba-dam, bam, ba-da-da-dam, dam, 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 ba-dam, bam, ba-da-da-dam, dam, 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 ba-dam, bam, ba-da-da-dam, dam, 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 ba-dam. Magmula nung ako'y natutong umawi, naging makulay ang aking munting daigdig. Tila ilog pala ang paghimig, kung malalim damdamin pag-ibig. Kung umapaw ang kaluluwa tinig, ay sadyang nanginginig. Magmula nung ako'y natutong bumawi, bawat sandali aking pilit mabalangin. Ang himig na maituturing atin, mapupuri pagkat bukod tangi. Di marami ang di magsasabing heto na inyong dinggin.
Sa sariling tugtugin o himig, sa isang makatay maririnig mga titik nagsasabi kay ganda ng ating musika, kay ganda ng ating musika. Ito ay ating sariling ating, at sa habang buhay awitin natin. Kay ganda ng ating musika, kay ganda ng ating musika. Ito ay ating sariling ating, at sa habang buhay awitin natin. Kay ganda ng ating musika, kay ganda ng ating musika, awitin natin. Sariling ating, kay ganda ng ating musika.
LSU, Reshaping Futures.
Let me be the change I want to see, to do with strength and wisdom all that needs to be done.
Magang tulad, awit sa panlayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagdinigin. Ang bituin at araw niyang kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng ating pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya ng may mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to our last episode of our arts workshop in celebration of the 2021 National Arts Month. And for today's session, we will be learning about basic musical arranging. A little information about basic musical arranging. It is the art of taking a piece of music and making it your own, or taking a melody and adding different instruments under it, such as a rhythm section or even a full horn section. By arranging music yourself, you can take a well known melody or song and turn it into something completely different and represents your own musical influences and taste better. Without further ado, let me introduce to you our resource speaker this afternoon. Our resource speaker this afternoon is born and raised as a native Ozamistan. He has been into music for as long as he can remember. If there are two things that he could not let go, it is his love for his art and his love for God. He developed his love for the craft through his music ministry in church and has been developing his skill even up until now. His passion for music has been translated to film and has won awards in film scoring and sound designing in various local, national, and international film festivals. When he reached college, he got into a cappella music, and as a vocal percussionist, he joined various a cappella competition with ACC's Acapella South. Currently, he is the resident arranger and producer of the Arts and Culture Center and has produced the songs Diritabay and Bituin. Please help me welcome Mr. Reyan Amakman. Good afternoon, Mr. Reyan. Good afternoon, Miss Reyan. We cannot hear anything from you.
Hello, can you hear me now, Tico?
All right. So once again, good afternoon, Mr. Reyan.
Hey, good afternoon, Twinkle. Good afternoon, everyone.
All right. So Reyan, can I ask you a question? What will we expect from you for today's session?
So basically, as you've heard from Twinkle, we're going to learn about musical arranging, but we're not gonna use any physical instruments except our voices. So I'm going to teach you the basics of a cappella music arranging, and I hope I could teach you in this in a way that you would understand in such a short period of time.
All right. Thank you so much in advance, Reyan. And so you may now take the floor.
Thank you, Twinkle. Once again, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Reyan. As you may all know, I'm the vocal percussionist of Acapella Sal. That means I get to deal with the beat of our music. So I think in this part of the Philippines, acapella music is not much has not much grown yet. In fact, our group Acapella Sal has just started about some years ago, and that's why I can say that. However, what I'm going to teach to you this afternoon are things that I learned in my journey as a member of Acapella Cell and as a musician my whole life. So let me share to you my screen. I hope that you can see it. So as you can see there are people like singing, right? Um, Together. So my question is, what are they trying to imply, or what are they doing, or what is the magic that is happening while they are singing together? to further elaborate that, let's learn this word first. Wait a minute. Ano? Melody. I think we all have the idea what is a melody, right? So a melody, in layman's term, is something that um, it is the actual tune of the song. Ang actual na tono sa song. That's how we knew melody, right? For example, in the song Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, how I wonder what you are. That's the melody of the song. But here comes another word that I would want you guys to somehow think deeply about: harmony. What is harmony? To put it simply as well, harmony are two or more tunes played together that would create a pleasing sound. Somehow, when you sing, a harmony could not exist without the melody, and um, and so on and so forth. Like, it could not be that harmony would just exist by itself, or the melody would. I mean, but the melody can exist on itself by itself. I mean, so basically that's it. If you learn the basics of harmony, or somehow if you understand what is harmony, then you're good to go into musical arranging. So I'm assuming right now that all of you are going somehow have the idea about what is harmony, since I'm informed that most of you are um, participants of the acapella competition for FAM days, and that's good. That's great. So what I'm going to teach you right now are somehow my own process that I learned as I have been arranging for acapella sal. Okay? So what is acapella? By the way, let's learn a little bit of history of acapella. So as you can see, or as you can read there, acapella is it came from an Italian. It is an Italian word which means in the manner of the chapel. It is a music, or it's a group or solo performance without any instrumental accompaniment, or a piece, or it is a piece that is intended to be performed in this way. A cappella music actually started long before in churches, because somehow some churches don't have the luxury of bringing in a very expensive piano, so they have to sing their hymns on their own, and then it developed into barbershop. Barbershop are for quartet. Is a quartet group of composed of all men, which is singing in harmony as well, and then it evolved into the modern a cappella music that we know. To name a few groups: a cappella go, pentatonics, voice play, the real group, and so many more. In fact, there's even a blockbuster movie that was made purely because of a cappella. I guess you all know the movie Pitch Perfect, right? So that is it. That is a cappella music. So I think um, now that we all know what we are um, um, learning this afternoon, um, so basically, what we're learning is that a cappella is purely music. It's just music purely made out of vocals, or just the voice. You know. So before we move on deeply into our presentation, let me show you a video clip. By the way, this is actually a cover of Acapella Sal. It is a song called Salamat by Yen Constantino.
Ngunit paman ang muling awiting awitin.
Sorry. There we go.
Ngunit paman ang muling awiting awitin. Nais kong malaman mo, ika'y bahagi na ng buhay ko. At kung may muling sasabihin, nais kong sagutin. Ilagyan mo ng kulay ang mundo.
I'm gonna have to cut it there. Let's move on to the next slide. So what you have just witnessed is an example of an a cappella arrangement that was arranged with a process called woodshedding. Now, woodshedding is when your group or a certain a cappella group would uh, meet and then would just arrange out of the top of their heads. So one day, five of us in a cappella Sal met at Earl's house, and then we decided, oh, let's make a cappella arrangement of this song, and then that was the result. So that's one way of arranging a cappella when you have brilliant companions with you. Well, that's if you have brilliant companions with you. But what if you don't have any idea, or what if all of you in your group are all like you're clueless about a cappella? It's your first time arranging a cappella. So this afternoon, I'm going to teach you my way of arranging a cappella through the technology that we have right now. Now, I guess some of you are afraid that we are going to learn this. In fact, when I started into a cappella arranging, I was somehow so afraid to learn musical theory. By the way, this is an arrangement that I made, a cappella arrangement that I made of the song Dynamite by BTS. Um, anyway, that is one way also of arranging a cappella by like hard composing it through notations and musical theory that we learn. But that would take a long time for us to. It does not fit in one, or rather in one setting like this. So what I'm going to teach you is how you can arrange an a cappella song somehow similar to this with the technology that we have in our homes, or that is available around us. Okay, so basically, if you want to, before you indulge into arranging a cappella, you need to know first the different, or rather the four parts, or the four vocal parts of a quartet. Somehow that will teach you how to um, arrange in the future, or arrange a cappella music. Okay, so there are three vocal parts in a quartet that you need to know. First is the lead, or the soprano. I guess all of you already know that. It's the lead singer. It's the one who sings the melody. Then alto, or somehow in our term we call it second voice, something like that. Then here comes the tenor, or third voice, or whatever, however you guys want to name it. So basically, that's the trio, or the triad that builds up the harmony. And the last part, which is the butter, or rather the bed of all the voices of the trio, or the triad, is the bass singer, something like that. So that makes up your quartet. And now let's get to how you actually arrange your a cappella music. Now, there are tools that you need to have. You don't actually need to have all of this one, but somehow with this, it will be easy for you to arrange a cappella music. Or at least this is my process along the way as I was like discovering how to arrange a cappella. So first is you need a computer or a laptop or whatsoever, or something that is capable of editing music. It can be, yeah, a PC, a Mac, or whatever. Next is uh, a condenser mic, or a USB microphone, and next is your phone, cell phone. Any cell phone would do. Something that could record music. And last but not least is you have to have basic knowledge of DAWs, or digital audio workstations. I know. I think it could take you a while to learn DAWs, but if you spend the time to learn it, it will be a shortcut to learning a cappella, rather than studying music theory or whatsoever and something like that. Okay. So there are thousands, or like let's say hundreds of DAWs available in the whole wide world. Mm. There's Logic Pro, Cubase, Ableton. What I use personally is FL Studio, and there are actually you know this DAWs or digital audio workstations that's available on your phone. This is GarageBand and BandLab. You can use those as well in order for us to like progress in this discussion. So what I do first is this. As you can see, what I'm doing right now in this part is I'm actually plotting out the melody through the MIDI that is built in your DAW. Okay, so that's it. Let's start first with the melody. That's what I'm doing right now. And by the way, I'm using the app called FL Studio. And next is we put in the harmony. So basically, I'm just using my ears in arranging this, because I don't have like the advanced knowledge of musical theory and something like that. So that's next. That's I'm adding the bass right now. Look at that, the low notes, and it would hopefully it would sound like this. So that was Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, a very easy song to arrange, right? So I arranged it with just ideas that is coming out at the top of my head as I'm looking at the MIDI controller in my DAW. And then that's it. I made a short arrangement of the song. So the next thing that you should do is you should listen to your arrangement. If it needs some tweaking, um, disarrange it if you want to. If needs some improvements, improve it, or whatever, something like that. And then after you've said that maybe you've had enough, you take a break. You space out yourself from the work that you're actually doing, and then if you've taken a break and you think that your work is done, then you go back into arranging and you move on to the next step. But the advantage with taking a break is that there are some ideas that just comes out at the top of your head, and there's this eureka moment that just happens in random places that you go. So if ever this eureka moment happens, this is where your phone comes in. That's why in my phone, that's actually an actual screenshot of my phone. I record any idea that goes at the top of my head just with this phone here. For example, if I think that, ooh, this part needs an accompaniment that sounds like this, I would record that in my phone. And then later, if I get home or something like that, I would put that into my arrangement that is in my DAW. Now, if after that, after all of those arranging, I can now put my ideas into like vocal parts or voices or something like that. So also another tip is if you're while you're arranging, you actually think if what would be the best lyric for this accompaniment? How would this tune sound like if I sing it in oohs and ahs or shoo-wops or doo-wops whatsoever? Those are basic acapella accompaniments that you could learn along the way. Now, what I did after that arrangement, let's go back to the arrangement to go to the little star. I turned it into an actual acapella arrangement, still using my DAW. And first is I experimented with uh, the accompaniment. I first used the lyric "ooh," and here's how it sounds like. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Now, to me, that still sounds great, but I still want to experiment more and like break my arrangement if I want to. So I use the lyric "do" this time, and here's how it sounded like. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. So basically, So basically, that is it. Um, you can actually do this and skip the like the MIDI part. You can like record directly with your voices on your phone if you don't have a laptop or a keyboard or something like that. But the whole process, or my whole process for the record is actually just that. And we have been, us in acapella style, we have been producing songs that way, and I have been arranging songs that way. In fact, here's how our um, tracks look like. Okay, so this is what I sent to my members. Alto, I like record my own voices in alto, in bass, solo, soprano, and in full. And then they'd study it, then we'd meet them and record. That's how we'd arrange music, basically. Um, it was just in the later years that I've learned musical theory. That's when I started to like arrange in actual notations, like with notes or something like that. But um, I started with that process, and it brought me this far, so far. So I hope that you've learned a lot from that, or maybe even learned just a little from that. Um, so before I end this workshop, please listen to this cover of Acapella Sal's, um, of Beyonce's, the cover of Acapella Sal of Beyonce's Love on Top. Enjoy.
One, two, three.
Baby, it's you. You're the one I love. You're the one I need. And I need to make everything stop.
Bring the beat in.
Put your love on top. Honey, honey, I can see the stars all the way from here. I can feel it glow on my window pane. I can feel the sun whenever you're near. Every time you touch me, I just melt away. Everybody asks me why I'm smiling up from ear to ear. But I know
It's gonna get real
oh, well, nothing's perfect, but it's worth it after fighting through my tears. Finally put me first, baby, it's you. You're the one I love. You're the one I need. You're the only love I see. Come on, baby, it's you. You're the one that gives you all. You're the one I can always go when I need to make everything stop. Finally, you put my love on, you put my love on, you put my love on top. Baby, 'cause you're the one that I love. Baby, you're the one I need. You're the only one I see. Come baby, it's you. The one that gives you all. You're the one I can always go when I need to make everything stop. Finally, you put my love on top. Come on, baby. You put my love on top, 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 top. You put my love on top, love on top. Come on, baby. You put my love on top, 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 top. You put my love on top, top.
So last notes before I end this workshop is after all of those process that you've learned, perhaps on the basic process that we've just learned this afternoon is always remember that if if you get stuck up on one if you get stuck up on one step along the way, so you need to like step back, take a break. And next is edit, 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 meaning you need to rearrange. And last but not least, um, always have fresh new ideas available on your phone. So that would be it. Thank you very much, and Animal Aside.
Thank you so much, Surayan, and thank you for teaching us to go beyond our capabilities. And this is something that we can really apply into real life setting. I know you guys have some questions already. You can type down your questions in the comment section below, and our resource speaker will answer them for you. So may we call in once again Mr. Reyan Amakpak to join us for the question and answer portion. So once again, I know you guys have some questions already in your mind. You can type down your questions below in the comment section and our resource speaker will answer them for you. All right, so do we have questions from our audience? So I believe all of our audience are into music. So do we have questions from our audience? I believe we don't have any questions from our audience.
Maybe they're just shy to talk.
Or maybe they are just shy. All right, so once again, do we have questions from our audience? I believe there are no other questions. So I believe there are no other questions, so let us proceed. All right, so thank you so much, everyone. And always remember that whether you use a computer or prefer to go old school with a pen and paper, the important thing is when you arrange, you use your ears and try to write it down, the sounds that you are hearing in your mind. Thank you so much, everyone. And it is always refreshing to learn new things during this quarantine period. We hope that you have learned something in this workshop. Before we end today's session, we would like to thank again our resource speaker for this workshop, Mr. Reyan. Thank you for sharing your talent and providing us with free basic musical arranging. And of course, being professional in this field, we must learn the basics. And once again, thank you very much to Mr. Reyan for helping us learn the basics about musical arranging. Workshop certificates will be given and will be sent through your LSU email account. So may we request everyone to turn on your cameras for the photo op. Alright, so once again, may I request everyone to turn on your cameras for the photo op. Alright, so can you smile everyone and face to the camera? Alright, so once again, smile everyone. Okay, so in 1, 2, 3, smile. Let's have another batch. 1, 2, 3, smile. All right, so thank you so much, everyone. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of the Arts and Culture Center to get regular updates of our 2021 National Arts Month celebration. Speaking of updates, I would like to remind all registered participants of the arts competitions the deadline of submissions of their entries will be only until March 12 this Friday. Let me also plug in the opening of the Family Days 2021, which will take place on Monday, March 15, 2021. Surely this will be another fun, exciting, and productive day for all of us. This concludes our Arts Workshop 2021. Together, let us allow our passion to become our purpose, and it will one day become our profession. And as the Salients, we will live Jesus in our hearts. Thank you so much. Stay safe and animo lasal.
Drum